Good Monday, everyone. Oh my gosh. I know. I started with the wrong intro, outro, whatever, Russell. I caught it and I did it and I ran with
You-
it.
You're gonna have to skit. You haven't got this down yet.
No, they're not labeled in my plethora of video clips. They're just not labeled. But you guys, oh my gosh. We're just having Hot Mess Monday after Hot Mess Monday, you guys. Oh my gosh. But it's Author Talk. You're here with me, Amy. Russell Bjorn's filling in for Valerie today, and our lovely author guest is CC. So, you guys, yes, I already know my voice sounds really strained, and it's just like the friggin' 12 days of page turners like 3 years ago. The whole really fun experience, okay? But fun fact is, I sat out in the rain while my kids were at swim lessons, and I was being a supportive mom. This is what has happened. Okay, I have like a cold or something in the middle of freaking June. I don't know who gets a cold in the middle of the summer, but that's currently what is happening. I'm surviving my kids being at home, Meadow being at home from kinder, Josh being in the office next to me. I'm just surviving. Okay,
You're a
June, I'm
little
trying to
cranky.
survive. No, my voice is hurting.
A
I'm
little
trying to
cranky.
survive. But I do have you guys, if you're part of the Historical Novel Society, I do have my master class, which is 3 hours coming up on Sunday. So if you're a part of that, I can't wait to see you guys on Sunday for 3 hours. Hopefully, my voice is a lot better by then, and I'm not struggling as much as I am now. But weekends, you guys, one happy belated Father's Day, Russell. You guys, oh my gosh, Father's Day. I was sick, so I've just rescheduled that in my household. It got rescheduled is what it did. But weekend was just a lot of how I sound. Tea and trying to survive. I'm trying to make it to 33, you guys. My birthday is on June 30th. We'll have a show on my birthday. Super excited about it. I'm trying to survive and make it there, you guys, for sure. But Russell, I'm excited that you're on because you're out gallivanting all over traveling. So I'm excited to hear about everybody's weekend. So not everybody at once, but who wants to talk about their weekend first? Bjorn, you
Oh,
got selected.
you picked the guy with the least going on in his life. No, I didn't do much as usual, except I did piddle with a lot of books that I've been writing, and I branched out a little bit, and I think I sent some video clips to a few of you guys. I've been branching out into trailers, video trailers for books. So that's been
Nice.
kind of a little. It's different, something different, and I
I
guess
don't think Amy approves of that.
you don't approve of video trailers, Amy.
Yes, I do. I do.
No, but
It's
it's
good.
been kind of fun. It's something different to do.
Yeah,
But
it's
that's
good to piddle. I like piddle. That's a fun word.
that's really it. I'm boring. Y'all picked the boring
Is
person
the
in the world.
bunny still alive? Is your bunny still alive?
I have not seen the bunny lately, but I haven't been looking for the bunny,
Well, that's the
Okay.
answer.
so I
Uh,
can.
Bjorn,
Yes,
would you please post one of your videos on Author Talk Facebook page so people can see it?
yeah, I can do that. Sure.
Okay, thank you.
I love it. Russell, what did you do this weekend? Where are
Uh,
you?
I'm in Paris. This is my Paris apartment for the week. It is so cool. I look at on this intersection where I go across the street and have coffee, cafe lattes in the morning. It's very fun. I was at Rome and Siena this weekend, and we're going to be in Paris all week. It's great.
I love it. I love it. I'm excited. I'm really digging the wallpaper, to be honest.
I
I'm
know.
really
I
digging
guess
it.
wallpaper's back in style.
On
Yeah. I mean,
on.
it's weird, but yeah, they totally are.
I'm shocked. Yeah, and if you can see from the camera, look down at the intersection.
Oh, wow.
It's beautiful.
Now I have felt like I have traveled to Paris. I like it. I'm there. I've traveled. I'm good. I like
I
it, you
know. I
guys.
thought of you and your non-traveling and how you should do it.
How long was your flight?
Uh, 8 hours, but uh we got on the plane and we had dinner and I had a glass of champagne, took a sleeping pill, and woke up in Rome. It was great.
Okay,
So it
so
didn't
you
matter.
slept.
Yeah, I
So you
slept.
slept. Okay.
Right.
All right. That makes me happier. That makes me happier.
But
All
on the way, when I fly back, I can't sleep because we leave at noon and we land in Atlanta at 3 p.m. So you can't sleep on that flight.
Mhm.
Hmm. See, you lost me. You lost me. You
Yeah.
had me where you got to sleep, but you lost me.
what's
Cece,
the
what did you do?
I painted a room.
Oh, what
Super
color?
exciting. Beige. It's just a beige. It's a nice beige, but it's still a beige. It's not this room
Okay.
that I'm in, but it's still beige. It's like your typical, like I'm looking at every house in America and it's that color. Um, it's nothing big or to write home about, but it
CC,
just
are you selling your
it
house? Is
had
that
no, but the original color was a puke beige. So this is an upgrade.
Okay. I'm
My
here for it.
husband's building built-in bookshelves for me in that room, and they'll be white, so it'll stand out nicely against the white. And it's got a beautiful new hardwood flooring that we just kind of redid the room. So that was a fun thing on Saturday. And then we celebrated Father's Day on Sunday. Pool party at my in-laws. So much fun.
nice?
Nice.
What is
Yeah.
the name? What's the name of the pre-digestion beige? What is that called?
Puke beige. I don't know. I don't.
I
It's
like
the original color of the
Right.
entire house, and there's 2 more rooms that it's still on, and I'm like, if this doesn't drive me batty before I get them painted, it's gonna be a miracle.
It makes sense. Makes sense. I'll tell
Puke,
you this
puke
story.
is awful.
Josh loves this story, so I'll tell you in favor of Josh. So at our old house, now our rental property, we
Mhm.
had 5 different friggin' colors of green on the wall for a year and a half, and I did not change my mind on which color it was going to be. And he got so sick of looking at the 5. I mean, we had birthday parties with these 5 samples, like big swatches on
Yeah.
the wall, and
Mhm.
it became a running joke because then we just asked, which color do you like better? Like it just was like the game of the birthday, I guess. But I like doubled down. So a year and a half later, I took the kids to visit my mom. He painted the whole house except for the bedrooms the color that I wanted. And I came home that weekend and I told him we were moving. So it's, the paint is always just a sensitive subject in our household. So the color on my walls, which probably look like beige, is actually the same green that I just painted in my other house, kind of to fix the issue I caused.
Amy, I have told you and told you, you guys shouldn't be redoing houses because it does nothing but cause a divorce. That's from a divorce attorney, I'm
Hey,
telling you.
but
Of course,
we
I'm
didn't.
about to buy an ugly old house that my wife is going to completely take down to the beams and rebuild. And if that doesn't cause a divorce after 42 years, it'll be a miracle.
Hey, fingers crossed for you. We didn't divorce. I just won. And, I tend to do things when Josh is out of town, but now Josh doesn't travel as much. So I kind of just do them and then ask for forgiveness. Kind of like when I bought this hot tub off the estate sale. He wasn't super excited about it. And now it's in my garage. And now we're going to make a place for it. And I'm going to be one of these weird people that have the hot tub in their garage because one, my back fence is wrought iron. People can see into my yard. And I don't want people to see me in my hot tub. And 2, I don't want to move it again. But he didn't like it until it arrived, and now I'm maybe can keep it. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with the fact that I can. So I just kind of do it and ask for forgiveness. So well, I'm upgrading, you guys. But Russell, it's your time to shine.
Yes, thank you. I need to thank everyone for listening to us. We're top 1% in some channels, top 10% in other channels on podcasts, and we are very grateful. Uh, we started this 9 years ago. And when we first got on the podcast channels, I couldn't find us. It was impossible. I would call Amy looking for it. And then she did some miracle stuff that she minimizes. But whatever she did got us to where you can find us on the podcast channels. And Amy, tell people where they can find us.
Yes. So you guys, even Russell being out of the country can still find us because he was active last week. But you guys, anywhere that you can find a podcast. So my go-to is Amazon Music, Spotify, Good Pods, iTunes if you're an Apple user, Google Play if you're an Android user like me. Anywhere, type in Author Talk, look for the crimson, red, and gold because I'm selfish. Those are my favorite colors, and Dina rebranded us, and she's my bestie. So that's how we handled it. But type that in. You can get all of our episodes. If you want to watch us, because me and Valerie are pretty animated. When Russell gives me the stern look because I've gone over on time and you want to laugh with us or at us, generally we're doing both all the time anyways. You can go over to our YouTube channel and see where we started and where we are to now today and how it's evolved. Any one of our social media channels. We do have a Facebook group. You can go and interact with us. Though StreamYard has been throwing loops at me lately, but we're going to figure those out and it's going to be okay, you guys. We're going to survive all of this. So make sure you go do it. No.
Before we go on, we have to go back to a subject that we have discussed over the last 2
No,
months.
I don't want to go back to that subject because I know what it's going to be and I don't want
you
to.
Don't. No, you don't. This week we're talking about readers that get tattoos on their bodies.
Yeah, man, I actually just
their
saw a
favorite
post
book.
in my-
CC, did you know this was a thing?
I've heard a little bit about this with the whole like shooting popularity of romantasy.
See?
And I assume that's where
she
you're
has
heading.
heard it. Okay.
Well, she gets it for
Well,
romance.
plus I'm on TikTok. It's hard to avoid it on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
We see that was the whole thing between that Bjorn's going to get in trouble for about his videos when he puts them on TikTok. Amy's going to hit the roof because she's anti-book TikTok, but that's another story.
Yeah. That's a different
you can
argument.
See from Cece,
There's gotta be a story behind
you
that.
do books on TikTok stuff, don't you?
So I call it an outpost on TikTok. Dystopian is not real huge on TikTok. It's bigger on Instagram. Plus, I actually like Instagram a little better. That's just me.
I have won my argument.
You won that argument.
Did I?
And yes, and I have counted 7 young women since I've been in Europe that's been walking around with book tattoos on them. And in fact, my wife, when the last one walked by, it was in the airport. It was in the Florence airport, like Sunday, and she walked by, and my wife was like, why are you staring at that young woman? And she was talking about, I said, because she has those tattoos Amy and I've been talking about. So I just got to say, I have seen evidence of what you described, and I guess before that, someone walks around with tattoos, you don't look. It's like invasion of privacy to look too closely, right? To notice that sort of thing. So you don't. Yeah. But once you started talking about it, I've started paying attention a little bit, and wow, it's in Europe too.
Yeah, it's the romance.
I can't believe it.
It's the romance genres, and it's typically dark romance. So you do have some that'll do like the stacked books. It's like forever reading or a big reader or whatever.
I've seen the stacked books tattooed twice.
Yeah. So you'll have those, but a lot of them are phrases from dark romance novels. And you don't want to know the name of the groups that I'm in that post these photos. Okay. We're just that no one needs to know. No one needs to know that. But they are there. And I mean, I've sent you the screenshot of it. One post had hers that she had just gotten done. She wanted to see others. And at that time, it only been up like 30 minutes. And there was 163 comments of different book tattoos. One right now is like Run Little Mouse is a really big one. You Vow, I Vow, We Vow is another really big one. So there's just a lot of different ones. But we're going to swing back to CC over here in book talk, right? Which is what I said. It's only good for specific genres. No one wants to listen to me. Russell argued with me on it too, but I did win that one. I did not win the book festival. But I won the TikTok argument. So that's why we don't handle TikTok. Like, we'll support you and encourage you, but we just don't handle it. It's not our jam. But yeah, Russell, I'm going to start sending you photos from my group so you can see
that's
all
enough.
the different
I don't
ones.
know. I don't want to see any more. I just wanted to verify your story.
Hey, the fact that they have them where you can see them is shocking, because in the group they are not. They're not.
It's shocking.
Well, and it makes me ask the question, when they find a new series, are they going to get another tattoo of that book? And then what if like something happens and they fall out of love with the series? Removing a tattoo is really hard.
CC, you
can't change your mind. So
right, we've discussed book festivals on this show where tattoo artists are featured as part of the attractions. It's shocking.
Yeah. No, I'm not shocked about that. I question what happens if that author falls out of favor in the public? Like, I have so many questions.
They have a tattoo across it, maybe.
Well,
Okay,
the whole thing is that, so we all understand, at least I hope, if not, you're about to understand, romance authors are like die hard. Like, they are die hard. And when there's a series collectively that they are just behind, and I know because I'll fall victim to this and I will read it and not know what I'm getting into, because everyone defines dark romance very differently than what it actually is. And so I have fallen victim, and I have read all of these books that people have tattoos on, and they're okay. But I question some of these people. I'm like, I don't, there's something wrong. But they are diehard, and that's why it's on their body. Like, they will bleed for that book or that main character. The male one that they're just totally into, they will tattoo on them. They're just, they are ride or die. So it just is what it is. They are a different beast. Like, the tattoo artists are at romance book festivals because that's their target market, and they are just a whole different beast in and of itself. I'm just saying. Russell, you should go and just people watch, and you will understand.
Actually, I'm thinking that we need to interview somebody that does that.
A romance author?
No, someone
the
that
tattoo people
has tattoos. We need to interview that person.
I'm with CC. I have a lot of questions, because what happened to just sticking a bumper sticker on your car? Hey, I like this book. I mean, that seems to be a lot safer than getting a tattoo.
It's a lot less commitment.
Yeah, you can change your mind with that.
It's different. Man, I don't know. I'm telling you though, these romance groups are popping with them. It's like
we do need to get to CC's book, by the way. I mean, I'm glad
take
CC's
it away,
here,
Bjorn.
but I don't think she's just here for the glamour.
Hey,
I'm enjoying the conversation.
Are you good if we break to your book instead of talking about tattoos and stuff?
Whatever, sure.
You got a big day coming up in 8 days.
I do. I forgot that it was next Tuesday. Like, June, where is June gone? I'm thinking it's still like the 2nd or maybe the 3rd, but no. Oh my gosh. It is. My launch is in 8 days.
Yeah, this is the second full-length novel for you, right? And then you had the two, the novellas, however you say
novellas,
that. Yeah, novellas. There you go. The launch day is coming up. Is it any different the 2nd/4th time, depending on how you look at it? Is it any different this time, your excitement level, than the very first?
So I think it's, so yes in a way, but no in a way. So it's a conflicting answer. Yes, it's different in that I'm not as stressed. My stress level right before launching Divided was like atmospheric. I was way up in stress level, and I was just so nervous about everything. And Amy kept telling me, calm down. Hey, look that's my book. Amy kept telling me to calm down, and I did eventually. And then like launching the novellas is not really that big of a deal. Like, I don't do this whole big production with them. I just kind of quietly release them. neither of the novellas are in Kindle Unlimited, and I use them as like freebies to give away to readers a lot. I print copies and people do buy them, and that's great. But Caged is a lot less stressful in a way, but yet the pressure is on to duplicate the success, if that makes sense. So
Right.
like to have the same level of reader reviews, to hit that same market right with dystopian novels, especially young adult dystopian novels, and basically to say, oh, lightning didn't strike, when Divided hit. This is actually a pattern, and so there's a little bit of pressure with that. But I would say overall, like, I'm actually already writing book 3 right now,
Of
and
course you are.
that I have ADHD, and so it's really hard for me to focus on it more than one thing at a time. And I think it's good that I'm writing book 3 and I'm paying attention-ish, but I'm not like obsessing over Cage like I did with Divided. And so I haven't even gotten my author copies yet. I still have the thinking proof copy here. So they're going to arrive, like, I think next week, literally on my launch week. But at this point, it's like, whatever. I literally forgot to order author copies. I'm like, oh, that would be good. Let's get some author copies. So that's how different this launch is.
So a lot of it's just the unknown aspects. Now that you've done it before, the known aspects. So now it's just it's a maintenance thing now, right? I mean, it's trying to maintain or build the same level of excitement and whatnot that the first book came out. Yeah, I understand that for sure. Do you have any idea how many books you're going to have in the series? I'm sure you've been asked 1,000 times, and I'll make it 1,001.
No, I do, and I'm already working on the covers for books 3 and 4. So there will be 4 large novels in the series, and then the novella companion series will also have 4 books, including a villain origin story, which is always popular, and a novella at the end featuring the spy character, which has spoilers. So that will get launched after everything else is released. Betrayed is in the writing stage, in the rewrite, I should say. I fast draft to begin with, and so I wrote the first draft way back in like 2021, and so this is now my revised draft I'm working on.
Okay, so if you would give us kind of a quick summary of the story. I mean, without giving too much away, of course, but give us a quick summary of the story up to the launch that's planned for next week.
So Divided is features 4 teenagers from different areas in Queenstown. And Queenstown is one of the larger cities in the future Federated Republic of America, which was organized after a civil war we fought over racial issues. And so you've got these teenagers. They've been separated from other ethnicities, grown up without ever knowing anyone from another ethnicity. And so, of course, there's curiosity, but there's also a complete blank slate. In that setting, Marcos is an 18-year-old teen whose father is incredibly controlling and abusive, and he just is done. He wants out, let's escape. The only problem is no one has ever escaped Queenstown, ever. But yet he figures out a way out, but he gets caught. And he ends up in a labor camp that is both secret and completely illegal outside of the city. And it's in the labor camp that he meets other teenagers like himself, but of different ethnicities. And he learns about an underground resistance movement. And he figures, well, I want to be free, so let's just free the whole labor camp. And that's when he connects with the other main characters in the series, Rose, Harriet, and Jason. And together they change the world there. And book 2 is Rose's story, and she knows too much. She's figured out the regime's secret, and so she has to be silenced, and she's kidnapped by her enemies, and they hold her. And while she's in captivity, she learns a truly explosive secret beyond what she'd already figured out, and knows she has to escape, or the entire underground movement will die.
Nice.
So
Very
that's
nice.
her story. Yeah.
What
But
I
of course,
what I
the
like.
next two books after that are you're gonna get the bigger and bigger picture of the world.
Oh, of course, yeah. That it's just
Mhm.
builds and builds.
Yep.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I read Upheaval. Then I started on Divided, and I enjoyed it very much. I just haven't had time to finish, and
That's
that's
like
my
me.
fault. Well, that's my fault because I'm trying to write 5 different books at one time. So that's my fault.
Yeah.
But I will get back to it because I really do
Get back to
enjoy
it.
the story, and I love your character development. The characters really. I'm sure it's for everybody that's read it, but they really connected with me. I really enjoyed reading about them. It's that inner spirit, that resistance, I guess, grit, and yeah. So keep going for sure.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Do
my
you have
characters
anything?
have all of them a little bit of stubbornness to them.
Do you have any big plans for your release day? Anything special other than the normal stuff like getting a tattoo or anything like that?
No tattoos. No tattoos. Um, I my big launch party is actually going to be in July. So it'll be July 19th here locally in Cincinnati, which I'm super excited about. And I just got to figure out how to get those like cookies with the book on them. No tattoos, but some cookies would be a good thing.
Got to have launch cookies.
Cookies are better than tattoo. I mean, I could see temporary tattoos, but not full tattoos. Cookies, though. That's my jam.
You had me at cookies. You had me at cookies.
I think everybody
Actually,
at
I have
cookies.
most people at
Cookies like
cookies.
yeah, I had
Exactly.
cookies like that at one of my launches. They're great. They're it's a great popular thing. You could probably contact one of your local bakeries and order those, and you
Mhm.
should do that really quick
Yes.
because it takes a little
Yeah.
time. Uh,
Yeah.
if I can, CC, I would like to ask you, what is the proudest
Mhm.
thing? What are you proudest about your book that's coming out? What are you the most proud about?
Yeah. That's a very great question and one I've never thought about. Um, I think I'm the thing that I'm most grateful for. I don't know if it's a pride thing because I wrote and edited, did all the revisions while I was battling a pretty bad illness that lasted from like September through a couple weeks ago. So I finally started feeling better. So I'm just really grateful for all the support I had, but also kind of proud that I did not give up, that I just kept moving and going and didn't give up on Rose, didn't say, oh, let's push off the launch date. Cause I had set the pre-order. Like once you set the pre-order, you got to fulfill that or Amazon gets kind of mad. So that was maybe a little like get up and go hit to me. But at the same time, like I could have just said, I'm done, but it just kept going. And I had a lot of support with that. My editors were amazing. They caught so much that, that I just didn't have the bandwidth to catch.
So,
So you
in your chapters, in the book itself, is there something, a certain message that you're trying to carry through your next book?
Yeah. So definitely the overarching message through the whole series is this theme of collaboration across lines where like maybe we're not comfortable. So going outside of our comfort zone to work together. And Rose is really an independent woman. And up to the time of Caged, didn't really like working with other people. She'd rather be working on her own and figuring things out on her own, doing things on her own. But through the story of Cage, she comes to appreciate letting other people in to her life, letting other people into her problems, and working together is a better thing. So that's I'm really like proud of that message within Caged, and I think it's a needed message today.
Go ahead, Bjorn.
nah,
I just dying to ask that question. Also, well, we have the space, so I want to ask you. So, what's your background, CC? Tell,
Yeah.
tell the tell the listeners a little bit about your background and who you are.
Yeah. I have a bit of a meandering history. Right out of college, I worked in a bank and did commercial lending, and that was great, but it really wasn't for me. I went to medical school and got my master's in public health, and then started a nonprofit doing work in other nations that had experienced civil war and were just trying to emerge from that, trying to rebuild their societies. And so we started medical clinics, and then I did some economic empowerment work in Sierra Leone as well. And that was like 10 years until the kids got a little too old for mom to be gone so much. And that's when we moved up to Cincinnati, and we started the church that we helped lead as associate pastors. And I ran the nonprofit part of the church and still do. So that's like my background.
You just blown
and then
my mind. You blow my mind.
And then writing. So writing fiction was not something.
You need to be more detailed about your time in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
I mean,
so have you ever
what
seen
were you
the
doing?
movie
Was
Blood
the
Diamond?
war going on? Yes.
I'm a little nuts. Okay. Like, it doesn't bother me it does bother me when I'm held up at gunpoint. I've been held at gunpoint a couple times, but the one that, anyway, I'm not going to get to that story. We were over there because there was a need, and we found a local partner that was just amazing, and they wanted to help their nation. But when we would take medical teams, we would bring 5 or 6 doctors, and that would double the number of doctors in the nation. Think of this, an entire nation of 5 million people with 5 doctors. And they were all located in one town. And to get to that one town from anywhere in the nation, it could take you up to 3 or 4 days. This is a nation the size of about Georgia. So, you can kind of put the context here. And we set up 2 different medical clinics. And then the guy who was running them was like, well, a lot of people from the village can't get here. So can we get some bikes? And I was like, motorbikes or pedal bikes? He's like, well, if we have motorbikes, we can take the clinic to, up to 15 or 20 villages a week. And I was like, well, let's do it. And so we helped him get motorbikes, and they would literally load the clinic up in like saddlebags and boxes and stuck, strapped on with like duct tape and crazy MacGyver stuff to the back of these motorcycles. And they would go to the clinics, and they would do a clinic in a village, and they served over 600 villages in a year that way, basically taking healthcare to the village. And it's just amazing the kind of things they did. And we just were happy to walk alongside them and help them however we could.
Everything you just said blew everything I've ever done in my life out of the water, just so you know.
I don't mind having to get well water, no running water, no electricity. I don't care. I'll go. And dirt floors, it's just not a big deal. Although I'm getting older, I don't really want to sleep on the dirt floors anymore. I've done that. I've done that.
That's amazingly noble, though. Thank you so much. That's more what people should be doing. That's nice. How much did that
we had so
played
much fun?
How much did that played into your story building? I'm sure it had to have, of course, the experience.
It definitely did. I have seen people survive their version of the apocalypse. When you go into these nations that have survived civil war and you start talking to people, you find out, oh, my entire family's dead. What? Yeah, there was the rebel movement was camped out outside our village, and our village elder wouldn't surrender to them. So they just came in and massacred the village, and I escaped. And then you come to find out, oh, there was someone in the village who actually killed your family, and you now live next door to them, and you're okay. They've made peace. Some of the stories would, one, they're going to mess you up for days, and you'll just be crying. I don't care if you never cry. You'll probably cry. And it's just amazing to see a people as a nation decide we're done with war. And a UN peacekeeper said it this way: Sierra Leone has not only laid down the weapons in their hands, they've laid down the weapons in their hearts. And that has stuck with me for almost 20 years now. That idea that we have weapons in our hearts that are more important than the weapons in our hands.
Yeah, and if they were able to do that, truly, that's rare. I mean, look at the world. Anywhere there's been any kind of conflict, it just never seems to go away. It takes centuries, it seems like, and then sometimes it gets worse. It's just how we're built as humans, I suppose.
I don't think time heals all wounds.
No,
I think forgiveness and reconciliation heals the wounds, and that's the process that I saw. I watched it happen in Sierra Leone. It was hard work. It was anguish at times, but they did it.
It's a good story, though. That is a very good story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's why I weave in this survival. Survival is
right.
part of the stories I weave in. Yes.
Oh, of course.
So,
what's your complaint, Russell?
Why the hell do you not start the discussion with some of that? That's juice you should use to sell. I mean, wow. That should be on the other end of this interview, not the back end. That's great stuff.
Ease people. Sometimes you got to ease people into that, except I will say, I was on a podcast with a South African, and he led with that. He noticed it on my website, and he led with that question, and we got into a great discussion. But I think South Africans know.
Yeah.
Keno Isaacs. I think having
Keno
lived through
I
what
knew who
he's
you're
lived
talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Having lived through what he's lived through, he that stood out to him, and he's like, let's talk about this.
Yes. I can believe that. Keno's he's a rock and roll guy too. I mean, he's a serious guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to ask this question. Okay, what book are you reading right now, CC? It's an easy question to end the interview for me.
Yes. So right now, right now I'm not reading anything. Right, last night I finished up a post-apocalyptic novella that Millie Copper's. It's her Lights of the Collapse. It's one of the novellas you can get for being on a reader list, but that's a fascinating post-apocalyptic situation to me because it is triggered by nanobots that are implanted in people beforehand and then triggered by a video game. Not at all possible, I could totally see that.
Oh my
happening.
gosh, that's like a Black Mirror. That's like a Black Mirror episode. Do you watch Black Mirror?
Yes.
Do you know which one I'm talking about? One of their recent ones?
Yes. So I agree. And she's brought it to life, but she writes cozy post-apocalyptic. So there's no sexual content and no cursing. And I like that part of it. It's almost like YA post-apocalyptic. So that's what I finished it last night. So I'm not reading anything right now. I don't know what I'll pick up later. I'm a real big mood reader. Like I may say I'm reading this, and when it gets to the time, I'd be like, I don't feel like reading that.
How diverse do you get with what you read? I mean, is it mainly post-apocalyptic, dystopian type stuff, or is it other stuff too?
No, I would say it's about 50% that and 50% all other. I don't read dark romance, but I will read rom-com and sweet romance. I will read fantasy, like epic fantasy. I'm not a romantasy person per se, but fantasy, contemporary fantasy or urban fantasy would be in there. Sometimes there's a mystery, true crime, like thrown in, sometimes a biography. So I do kind of read all over the board, less literary than anything else.
Gotcha.
Nice.
That was a good question, Bjorn.
Yeah, I feel you on the romantasy. I can't get into those. I just
define for the listeners what the hell that is.
It's the blend of romance and fantasy. So it's the blend of those, and
I thought
the blend
romance
of those
was fantasy.
No, so the blend of those. Oh my gosh.
Poor Mrs. Little. Poor Mrs. Little.
Coming from a divorce attorney.
As soon as this show's over, I'm going to go meet her at a Parisian cafe. She's been in a time spa for the last hour and a half.
Hey,
Not
good
poor
for her,
Mrs.
man.
Little.
Good for her.
That's the life.
So, I
Yeah.
know. So
Okay, I retract my statement, Russell.
Yeah, so fantasy can only be anything. So there's a lot of like this one that it's like an Iceman, kind of like in the Thor movie, you know, where he's like battling these ice people. They're ice barbarian is what it is, and then there's just full on space opera romances. So, but Russell, I'm going to kick that question back to you. What are you currently reading?
I'm reading
curious.
because I always read it on those long flights. So what I'm reading on the flight back to America is a Cato biography from it's Cato the Younger, and an argument about why he isn't a Stoic, and that will keep me awake. I'll read that and watch episodes of The Office until we land.
Nice. The Office is where it's at. I like The
Yes,
Office.
Yes.
and both
That's a
sides of
good
the
one.
brain.
Bjorn, what are you reading?
My books that I'm writing. No, I haven't had time. I mean, I need to finish CC's for sure because now I want to get into her
No.
second
Now you wanna
novella and her
finish it.
second novel as well when it comes out. But I do have a question. Dark romance. What describe what a dark romance is? Is this like vampires going out to dinner? I mean, what
No.
is dark romance exactly?
No.
No.
Dark romance is it's going to have trigger warnings. So you're going to have stalking. You're going to have consensual, non-consensual. You're going to have
Okay.
weapons used. You're going to have being hung from the ceiling, being married against their will kind of thing. Taboo. So taboo is going to be somewhat dark too, depending on how taboo it is. So that's what dark romance is. Because I'm currently reading The Sacrifice. It's the second
Man,
time
that
I've read
sounds
it. That is
messed
a dark
up.
romance book.
That sounds
100%.
messed up.
It's a
Is not
I
for
think-
me. I will tell you
I
that.
I'm gonna
think
read
that's
you this
way
one.
out of my wheelhouse.
No.
Not mine too.
So here,
Yeah.
this will sum up dark romances for you. So this is a quote from The Sacrifice, so you can understand. It says, "Welcome to hell, little darling. You'll only be able to crawl as far as my chain will allow you." That is the definition of a dark romance. And you
I
will,
got you.
yeah, and they have pages of trigger warnings. It's not just like 5 or 6. Some books have 2 pages. So that's how you
Oh
can
my
define
gosh.
a really good dark romance book. So, it's just
That's a
crazy.
great way to
I
end
don't
the
read
show.
Where can we
Hey,
find
you?
you?
Know what?
Where can we find you, CC?
Go.
Where is the best place for us to go and find more about you and for more about your books?
Yes. So, well, of course, the books are all on Amazon, but on my newsletter, on my website, ccrobinsonauthor.com, I have a special offer for the Author Talk audience. So if you go to ccrobinsonauthor.com // or whatever, /author talk, you will get the ebook version, not the print book, but the ebook version of Upheaval for free. So they can go there.
Very nice.
They can find out more about me. All my books are listed on there with where to buy them, and all my media on there as well. And there's a book club kit for Divided.
Very good.
Nice. I love it. Well, Cece, thanks for taking time out of your day to come and put up with all of us and listen to our antics. It's always such a fun conversation. So I want to thank you for taking time out and joining us today.
Thank you for having me. And
very congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we gotta let Russell get back to his Paris outing. I'm excited to see photos. Russell.
I need to go to the
thanks for
cafe to
tuning
meet
in,
my wife.
and joining us. Yes, you do. So with that being said, everybody, have a great Monday, a great rest of your week. And until next time, bye for now, everybody.